Hello everyone. In previous lectures we started with color images and we have discussed various color models. Now we start our discussion on color image processing. And when we talk about color image processing techniques, we have two categories. One is pseudo color image processing and another one is full color image processing. So the basic purpose of pseudo color image processing technique is to assign different colors for different intensity ranges in a grayscale image or monochromatic image. The purpose is, as we have discussed earlier, that human eye can distinguish between only around 2 dozens of grayscale shades, whereas given a color image we can distinguish among thousands of color shades. So given a grayscale image, if we go for pseudo color processing techniques, then the interpretation of such a processed image is more convenient than the interpretation of an ordinary grayscale image as shown in this particular case. It is very difficult to identify different regions from this image, but after processing, after applying pseudo image processing techniques in this image, this interpretation of this processed image is much better. Now there are two ways to do pseudo color image processing. The one is intensity slicing and the other one is gray level to color transformations. So the simplest approach in which this pseudo coloring can be done is by making use of intensity slices. So what we do is we consider an intensity image to be a 3D surface. So as shown in this particular slide, that given an intensity image, say fxy, we can place planes which are parallel to image planes like this. So as shown in this particular diagram, if we place a plane which is parallel to xy plane, at this intensity level, say Li, now you can see that this plane slices the intensities into two halves. So once we get two halves, what we can do is we can assign different color to different sides of this particular plane. So on this side, say I can assign one particular color, whereas on other side of this plane I can assign another color. So this is the basic technique of pseudo coloring. So in our case, let us assume that the intensity values in a grayscale image varies from 0 to L minus 1. And say this L0 intensity level represents black and L minus 1 intensity level represents white. And let us assume that we have p number of planes perpendicular to this intensity axis, or we can say that parallel to the image planes. So these intensity planes will be placed at intensity values given by say L1, L2 and up to say LP. So these planes will be placed at intensity value. The first plane will be placed at intensity value L1. The second plane will be placed at intensity value L2, and this way the pth plane, this is the pth plane, will be placed at intensity value Lp. So once we place such p planes which are perpendicular to this intensity axis, these p planes will divide the intensities into p plus 1 number of intervals, and we are calling these intervals as v1, v2 and vp plus 1. So we can assign color, ck to a particular location xy. So here we can write fxy will be equal to ck. This is a color at a particular location xy. If the intensity value at the corresponding location xy, which is given by fxy, belongs to interval vk. So suppose here we have some location x and y, and if this xy location belongs to, suppose, interval v1, so we will assign the color c1 to this particular location xy. If suppose there is another pixel and it is present in the interval v2, so we will assign it color c2. So this is what we have shown here. So thus we can say that by using this simple concept, that is, divide your intensity range into a number of intervals and to a particular location in the intensity image, you can assign a color which is determined by in which of the intervals the intensity of the image at that particular location belongs. Then what we get is a pseudo colored image. This is the alternative representation of image slicing. If you recall, it looks similar to image thresholding, not exactly but quite similar to image thresholding. Here we have assigned one color to pixels belong to a range of intensities and another color, this color C2, to pixels with another range of intensities. So here we have assigned we have assigned two colors to our grayscale image. Now similar to this, we can also slice the image into multiple planes. So this intensity range will get color, suppose C1, this range will get color, suppose C2, and so on. Now this is the example of a pseudo color image. We have already discussed it multiple times. Here details are not very easy to interpret, but after processing it, after applying pseudo color techniques, we can identify different regions easily. Here again, in this we have sliced the image into two colors, and this pseudo image processing techniques are also very useful in analyzing and representing rainfall statistics. Now the another type of pseudo coloring technique is gray level to color transformation. In intensity slicing, what we have done is, for different intensity intervals we have assigned different colors. Now when we go from grayscale to color transformation, then what we do is, if we have a grayscale image that corresponds to a single plane, we convert that image into three different planes: red, green and blue. And when these three planes are combined, it will give an interpretation of color image. So the gray to color transformation can be done by using a type of transformation functions. So here our input image is a grayscale image, which is transformed by three different transformations. One corresponds to red transformation, another corresponds to green transformation, and the third one corresponds to the blue transformation. The red transformation generates the red plane for this image, which is given by FRXY. The green transformations generate FGXY, and the blue transformation generates FBXY. So when these three images, that is FRXY, FGXY and FBXY, are combined together and displayed on a color display, what we get is a pseudo color image. And the color of this colored image will depend on by the transformation functions which we have used. So let's see what kind of color images that we can obtain by using this grayscale to color transformation. So here on left hand side we have a grayscale image which is transformed to a color image shown on right. The color transformations that have been used are like this. Here we have used FRXY equal to the XY. That is, the grayscale intensity image is simply copied to the red plane. The green plane FGXY is generated by taking 1/3 intensities of this grayscale image, or we can say that multiplying 0.33 to all intensity values of this grayscale image. Similarly, FBXY or blue plane is generated by multiplying the intensity image by a value of 0.11 or dividing the intensity image by 9. And when we combine all these planes, the corresponding color image is generated. Here we have another example of pseudo coloring. Here it is a natural scene where different transformation functions are applied. In this case, we have taken the green plane similar to the grayscale image, and other red and blue components are some part of the grayscale image. So this is the pseudo color image we obtain by combining these different planes. Now this pseudo color technique is also useful in X-ray security machines at airports. So this figure shows two monochrome images of luggage obtained from an airport X-ray scanning system. The image on left contains ordinary articles. The image on right contains the same articles as well as the block of simulative plastic explosives. The purpose of this example is to illustrate the use of intensity to color transformations to facilitate detection of the explosives. So these are the transformation functions used. These sinusoidal functions contain regions of relatively constant value around the peaks and at and near the valleys. Now changing the phase and frequency of each sinusoid can emphasize color in the grayscale. For instance, if the frequency and phase of the all transformation functions is same, then the output will be a grayscale image. So a small change in phase between these three transformations produce little change in pixels whose intensity corresponds to the peak in the sinusoids. So the image here this image here is obtained by using the transformation function shown here. Now this transformation function shows the gray level bands corresponding to the explosive, garment bag and background. So this is for explosive, this is for garment bag, and this is for the background. Now if you will note, the explosive and the backgrounds here have this background and this explosive have quite different intensity levels, but they were coded with the approximately same color. If you will see here, they are coded with the same color, and here also their values, the value of explosive here have same transformation functions for the background. So we get same color, so they are coded with approximately the same color because the periodicity of the sine waves for red, green and blue is quite similar in case of explosive and background. Now this image was obtained by using these transformation function. In this case, the explosive and garment, explosive and the garment garment beds were mapped to similar transformation and thus receive essentially the same color. And these mappings only will allow an observer to see through the explosive. The background mapping were about the same as those used in this case, and that's why I produce identical color for these two pseudo color images. So this is all about pseudo color image processing. In the next lecture we will talk about full color image processing techniques.